for me, the more I tune into my feelings, the more I have clarity of how I'm feeling, the more clarity I have of my desires. And it's like everything just speeds up from there. The vibration speeds up, the manifestation speeds up. And then it just feels like sometimes you're on a rocket ship of, is this possible? And yes, it is. And it can just get better and better and better.
Welcome back to the Delicious Alignment Podcast, high vibing conversations with me, your host, Rhonda Ryder. Today, we welcome back Transformation Coach Amanda Towne as part of my Beyond the Hot Seat summer series. During the summer, I post 2 new interviews every month, usually on a Thursday. I've got some great news about upcoming guests as well. This year, I will interview Kosta Trifunovic, who channels Viola, and Sarah Landon, who channels the Council. These are 2 of my favorite teachers, and that's why I am so thrilled to have them on the show and share these interviews with you. In today's episode, we are talking to Amanda Towne about all things ease and flow. Amanda shares her insights from when she got in the hot seat on her birthday during an Abraham-Hicks New Zealand cruise this year. Abraham wound up serenading Amanda by singing happy birthday while she sat in the literal hot seat chair up on the stage. And Abraham reminded her to treat every day like it's her birthday. I know it sounds like a cliche, right? Treat every day like it's your birthday, or every day is special, but really, how often do we actually do that? How often do we actually treat every day or even every moment like it's special, like we are the amazing creators that we are? And what do we do when we're not feeling like an amazing creator? How do we be okay with not feeling okay at times? How do we be okay with not being in that high vibing state? So, confession time. All right. I kind of feel like I fell off the high vibing wagon a little this past week. I felt like I had abandoned my summer of fun theme and replaced it with a summer of Netflix on the couch theme, watching a lot of TV, just vegging out as I call it. But what's really great for me to notice is how I allowed it. I didn't go down that old rabbit hole of trying to fix something. I soothed my thoughts and just told myself it was all okay. It's okay to relax. It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to listen to your body and honor it and not push through. And then, just like that, I was ready to resume my summer of fun. And I actually appreciated that. I could do that. I could lounge if I wanted to. So before we jump into today's interview, I want to give you 3 easy tips to help you get back into alignment whenever you feel yourself dipping into a lower vibe. Number 1, acceptance. Accept where you are. Accept your feelings and know that if you have some low vibing going on, that it too shall pass. And there's nothing wrong here, right? There's nothing wrong. 2, listen to your body. What does it want? Does it want rest? If so, let that be okay. Take 3 deep breaths and repeat throughout the day. Take it a step further and see if you can get still and focus on your breathing for 5 minutes or more a few times a day. If not, that's okay too. 3, ask yourself this simple question. What thought would feel better? When it feels good to do so, ask yourself this question and keep asking throughout the day. Sometimes when I ask myself this question, the answer is, I don't know. I have no idea what would feel better. And that's okay too. And then when I'm ready, I start choosing thoughts that feel a little better. Really, it's all about acceptance. Okay, great. So let's get on with the interview with Amanda Towne. I met Amanda while I was in Gina Mallison's training program and was immediately impressed with Amanda's confidence and mutual love for spiritual expansion. I interviewed Amanda back in May for this podcast. The episode is titled Freedom from Overthinking, in case you would like to listen I wanted to bring her back on the show because of her recent insights while in the hot seat. Let's dive in. Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Rhonda. It's good to see you.
Great to see you again. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I am super excited to talk to you today about your experiences in the Abraham-Hicks hot seat. And
Yeah, super
we're
fun.
just gonna dive right in.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's start out with you getting serenaded by Abraham. Tell us that
Yes,
story.
yeah. That was so fun because the part of the going on this cruise, it was celebrating my 50th birthday. And I thought, oh, what a great thing for my birthday to be in the hot seat. So, of course, on that day, I got in the hot seat and told them it's my birthday. And they started joking around with me, and then they started singing and they started whispering, happy birthday, happy birthday. And it went on and on for a while. And other people that I talked to, they said they've acknowledged people's birthday, but not quite like that. So
Yeah.
that was really fun. And of course, I've gone back and watched it over and over because it's fun for me and to get different insights from it. And after they sang happy birthday, they said, we want you to acknowledge how special you are every moment of every day, not just on your birthday. So that was a big takeaway for me. And of course, we all have this at some level of like, oh, am I really worthy, and knowing the goodness of you. So it's really just tuning into the goodness of me and knowing I have infinite intelligence in my inner being with me all the time. And the other thing they said, there's infinite choices for you, infinite possibilities.
Hmm.
And I love that too, because it's not just one thing. There's so many things available, and I get to choose.
Yeah. I saw that video. I guess you shared it with me. That was amazing. Yeah, they were singing. And when anyone listening that's not familiar with Abraham Hicks, it's Esther Hicks is on a stage at a workshop and she is speaking to you. Someone gets in the hot seat and you get to ask, we say them, but it's one woman physically represented up there who's channeling infinite intelligence, if you will.
Yes.
And yeah, that was kind of interesting or strange, even how they were singing to you at first, whispering and then singing happy birthday, but really cool. And then that whole thing is so clear. Like, we want you to get that every day. Every day is your birthday. Celebrate yourself every day, not just on.
Yes.
Like, she was almost like kind of taunting you in the beginning or picking on you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think today is so special? Yeah, it's your birthday,
Right.
but it's like, well, it's my birthday today. Yeah. Yeah, but every day we want you to like treat every day like it's this amazing thing.
Yes. Yeah. And that is so important of treating every day as special, treating yourself special as every day. And they were playing with me a little bit, and they even
Yes.
said, like, we're teasing you a little bit because we didn't pick you because it's your birthday. We picked you, because you're special every day, every minute of every day. And everyone is. That doesn't just go for me or for you. That's everyone.
Right. Yeah. So let's go on to the next thing then, the next insight.
Yeah. Another thing I started, because when I got in the hot seat, I didn't really have a burning question. I thought, oh, this will be really fun to get in the hot seat for my birthday. And then I wanted to have more of a discussion. And as we talked about last time on my interview, a big part of my journey has been freedom, and freedom from overthinking. So that's where the discussion led to also. And they started talking about logic And I said, well, it's more about feeling. And they said, wait a minute, don't throw out logic, because the law of attraction is logical. And I've gone back and listened to this many times too. And so it is logical that you get what you think about. Its thoughts become things, and how you feel is a manifestation, and all of that is the logic. And that they went on to describe that too, of feeling good is logical. And for me, it's looking back and seeing how things lined up. Oh, I see this progression. I see how when I focus on how I want to feel and choose how I feel, how I have better thoughts, and I see how those thoughts are manifesting in my reality. So there is this progression, and it is logical. And
Mm-hmm.
so that, and I love that too. I have a friend, Reed, who is also on your show. He reminds me of that once in a while. He's like, wait a minute, remember Abraham even told you that it is logical. And so I love that. I love seeing, and they talked a lot on that cruise about connecting the dots. And to me, that feels like logic too, of connecting the dots of, how you have the thought and then an emotion, and then how your thoughts become things. So it is all logical.
Yeah, and in my brain, sort of like a devil advocate, because I'm thinking about my dad who lives with us, and then also my son who doesn't live with us, but any conversation I've had with him is that's not logical. Just
Yeah.
show me the scientific proof. And like my dad saying, well, no, I don't buy any of that. And not
Mhm.
that I'm pushing it on anyone. I am not. It's like they ask and then I might say something. But and they think it's not logical, but I agree with you. To me, it's logical. Your thoughts, your emotions,
Mhm.
it all affects your experiences. It's just like instantaneous, and we don't realize how instantaneous it is, but everything is constantly mirroring back. But I just want to say I know a lot of people who don't agree with that, and
Yeah.
that's perfectly okay too.
Right. And I think the best thing that we can do is just live it. And then they start to experience it through us and see, oh, things seem like they work out for you so easily. And then they start to ask questions. And so I feel like that's the best way to teach, is by example and just by living it. Because you're right, there are a lot of people, if you try to explain it to them, they're going to say that's nonsense.
Right.
And it's okay, that's just where they are, and they may develop beyond that point and want to know more, and but either way it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my son, one day he was traveling here from Denver, and he wasn't going to make his plane. It didn't look good.
Yes,
He didn't
yes.
provide enough time, and the security line was crazy. And he called
Hmm.
me and he said, "Can you do anything? Do any of your
Do some of
mumbo
your
jumbo?
magic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, do your energy work or do something." And I said, "Well, I could, but I'm not really sure. Like, you're the one that needs to create. You're the one that's creating your own
Right.
reality, not me." So,
Hmm.
um, anyway, he did not make the plane. But it was interesting that he called and asked that.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so when it's convenient, he wants it to work for him, but the rest of the time it's like, okay, don't talk to
Yeah,
me about that.
yeah. I agree with you 100%. Just modeling this stuff, just living your best life, having fun. That is what people will be attracted to, and it gives them a permission slip to go ahead and do things that maybe they've wanted to do, but they've held back?
I've had a lot of people comment to me, how do you do it? Your life looks so amazing. It seems like you're on vacation all the time. And I also I see the progression of that and how connecting the dots that this is really something I did create. I've wanted to have freedom in my life and to be able to live anywhere and for work from anywhere. And I live in Miami Beach. So I have the freedom to just walk to the beach anytime I want to. I have one of the most beautiful beaches just minutes from
Mm-hmm.
me. And it does feel like I'm on vacation. And so you can surround yourself with those kinds of things. And it's all your perspective and how you choose to see things and how you choose to live, because that's the thing. We all have choice. We all have freedom.
And I live here in my dream home, my dream city.
Yes. Asheville is so beautiful. So
I
beautiful.
remember coming here for a workshop and just thinking, okay, I really want to live here. This is it. I want to live here. And like a couple of years later, I kind of wrangled the gang up, and we moved, and all the stars aligned. And I know my attention was on, it's already done. I saw
Hmm.
myself living here. I felt it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I ended up in Miami Beach after going to workshop also. I think we talked about this the last time, because I went to the Viola retreat and I had that feeling I could see myself living here. And then things just lined up that it wasn't me really planning things, but it just
Mm-hmm.
unfolded in the easiest way.
Right. That's a key point. I think it wasn't you planning things and orchestrating it. It's the universe
Yes.
orchestrating it for you. I mean, that was
Yes.
my experience as
Yes.
well.
And you didn't know how that was going to turn out, but you had that desire and let it go. And your inner being, the universe, lined it up so that it could happen. And you didn't
Right.
have to figure out the how. And I think
Exactly.
that's so important because in the old world of how I used to live, everything was okay, here's my goal. I need to line up all the steps for how am I going to get there. And
Mm-hmm.
now realizing I don't have to figure it out and it's not my job. It's all it is for me to do is to have clarity of my desires and preferences and then release it to my inner being, because my inner being knows what I want and my inner being knows the path of least resistance, and it can unfold in the most magical, easy ways. And that's another thing that Abraham said to me in the hot seat: let go of the hard things. Let it be easy. Let go of the hard
Mm-hmm.
choices. Let go of the big thoughts that are hard and let it be easy. And so that's a really good example of let it be easy. There's we all have big things, that in our life that we tend to want. And if we just focus on the how of those, how is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Those those can be considered the hard things, and let it go. They also said, let the easy things come to you. Let the easy things roll in. And I also like to look at like that's like the breadcrumbs. Follow the little breadcrumbs because those will lead to the big things. You don't have to figure out the how. You don't have to line up all the steps. Just follow this thing and then that thing, and let it be easy and let it be fun.
Yesterday, my daughter came to me. She lives with us, and she said, "Do you guys want to go to the Biltmore Estate for 4th of July? They have the most amazing fireworks," because she works there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, how easy is that? I didn't even have a thought like, oh, what am I going to do 4th of July? Like I usually do, like little
Yes.
things like that. Like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, that was, thank you, surprise and delight me here. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to do anything. It just, here it is.
That's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to play with that too. I want to do something fun this weekend. And I let it show up, where in the past I might have like, okay, let me do a bunch of research and all of this. Like, no, it's a lot more fun to see what's going to show up, who's going to invite me to go somewhere.
Well, I certainly relate to that because in my old life, right, I was very much planning, the 1 year plan, the 5 year plan in your
Yes, yes.
business, and that never felt fun, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I know many people still teach that way, and it may work for people depending on where you are, but this
Mm-hmm.
vibrational way of living is so different.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It is really different. And I wasn't planning on going on the Greece cruise that's coming up. It's coming up in July. I wasn't planning on going, but I thought I had light thoughts about it. I thought if I feel inspired to go, then I will. And a friend would drop a hint here, another friend over there, to where the momentum was building for me. And it got to the point of, oh, I'm going to go on the cruise too. And it worked out beautifully. I was inspired to send out a message to another friend that I had met on the New Zealand cruise. And she was excited. Yes, let's go. Let's room together. And then another friend found out a special they were having that only lasted until that Friday. So we were able to get in on it. And it was easy. It was
Hmm.
fun, the unfolding.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we can look forward to more stories.
Yes, yes, I'm sure. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna have lots of stories after this next cruise too.
yeah.
And even the Hawaii cruise. I'm signed up for the Hawaii cruise, and beautiful things have unfolded with that. I've had someone offer to pay for my cruise, and on the cruise collaborating with other really fun people. We're already planning activities for it. And it wasn't something I planned or even said I had a light thought about going on the Hawaii cruise also, and this it just showed up out of nowhere.
Okay, and you manifested someone to pay for it.
Yes,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's big.
really surprise and delight me,
Yes.
universe.
And another hard thing too, or hard thing lately with marketing. I kept feeling into it. No, no, not inspired to do a bunch of action things. And I let it go. And a couple of days after that, Gina Mallison contacted me and she said, hey, I'm going to be doing another training program coming up in August. Do you want to be a part of it? And I was like, yes, yes, I would love to be part of it. That a lot of the things I had said, I want to be a part of a fun group. I love working with people that have been through Gina's programs because they get this and they're ready. They're
Hmm.
ready to go to the next level. So everything just lined up. I didn't even have the thought about it, but it just kind of fell into my lap. And how perfect. I let go of the hard thing. It didn't
Hmm.
feel it didn't feel good at that point to do the action steps for marketing, and I let it go. I listened to my intuition,
Hmm.
and that's something that I feel like develops more and more for people. And I know I've seen this for me. The more I tune into my feelings, the more I have clarity of how I'm feeling, the more clarity I have of my desires. And it's like everything just speeds up from there. The vibration speeds up, the manifestation speeds up, and it just feels like sometimes you're on a rocket ship of
Hmm.
is this possible? And yes, it is. And it can just get better and better and better.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
That's
really
a big
excited.
deal. That's so great. Mallison method has changed my life, and now you're going to be, I guess, assisting Gina with this new group. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
congrats.
yes, I'll be doing some one-on-ones with the people that sign up in that group to help their progression even faster, because as you know, receiving sessions accelerates your growth so much.
Yes.
And I still receive sessions from people from time to time too, because we all have things where we can release resistance on, and the more you release resistance, the higher your vibration goes, the faster the energy moves. But that doesn't mean you're never going to have a wobble again or have contrast. And so it's this constant fine tuning, and
Mm-hmm.
I really feel that more and more, and I feel for myself, it's the fine tuning of this vibration of feeling my feelings and allowing them. You know, one of the biggest things too I tell clients is you need to feel all of your feelings. Don't create fear of feeling something and then push it down. Your feeling is there for a reason, and if you allow yourself to feel it, it will pass very quickly usually, but it's when we
Mm-hmm.
push it away that we create that resistance.
And I'm sure you could relate to this whenever I'm calibrating someone in a one-on-one session. It's like I'm getting calibrated.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm elevated as well
Mhm.
as the person.
Yes.
So it's like I need less calibrations because I'm calibrating people,
Yes.
every day almost. But
Mhm.
I like the idea of having a session for me,
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
one-on-one where the attention's on me, and
Yeah.
so that I can keep on that practice of feeling the feeling, what's going on, and
Mhm.
getting ahead of it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like even coaches need coaches.
Hmm.
And that evolves and shifts, but it's good to have that other person reflecting things back to you and holding that space for you.
Absolutely. I
Mhm.
have some sessions with one coach. I'm going to go ahead and book those for sure.
Good. Yeah. Awesome.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to take a moment to remind you of a few resources for you, including my Facebook group, Delicious Alignment, which now provides support and community on all topics. And I also wanted to let you know about my free course, Love Your Body, Love Your Life, which includes over 20 videos and is based on the 5 steps in my book, Delicious Alignment: How 25 Women Learn to Love and Transform Their Bodies Using Abraham-Hicks and the Law of Attraction, which you can find on Amazon. Go to deliciousalignment.com/free course to get access to the free course. All the links mentioned are in the show notes. And let's get back to the interview. So, what about the next insight you mentioned about not giving a rip when anybody else thinks? I love this one.
Yes, yes. So at one point I brought up the fact of tuning into what I think versus needing approval from others. And Abraham loved that. And they went off. Of course, you don't want to give a rip about what anyone else thinks because they're not you. And we were just talking about intuition is based off of your feelings and what feels better. And no one can feel for you. It's internal. It's how I feel. And so not listening to what other people think I should do or their opinions of how I should act. It's really listening to myself and following that guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is a big one. That is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not needing to explain that or justify that to other people. My move to Miami is a good example of I don't need to justify it to anyone. This feels better. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like for me the next logical step. I can't explain to you why. I'm just doing it. And following that and being okay with it that I don't need to give someone my 5-year plan and explain how this fits into the 5-year plan. It
Mhm.
just feels better.
Yeah. Definitely living that way is also very freeing. I've been doing that for a long time now. It's just like feel into it, what feels better, what feels really good. And if you don't know yet,
Hmm.
then don't do anything. Just wait until you get some clarity and guidance.
Yes, and I that's a very good point too. Of taking no action is really okay. And I know in my old way of thinking too, it was action, action, action. It felt uncomfortable to be kind of in a limbo state before. And now,
Hmm.
with my vibration a lot higher, I have that steadiness and can tune into, no, it's okay. I can be satisfied where I am and eager for more and know that something else is coming. I don't need to push for an action or take action before I'm ready.
Right. Yeah. And that whole thing about being in limbo, I think that's one of the hardest things for people a lot of times to be in that place. Like
Hmm.
I want to know the answer, I want to know what to do now. And
Right,
it's that
right.
impatience to kind of like just sit back and be in that
Hmm.
space of not knowing, but knowing that it's coming, the guidance is
Yes.
coming.
Yes, yes. And that knowing, I feel like, is a sweet spot. And it's not a knowing of what's coming up, but
Mhm.
it's a knowing of, I know it's coming to me. I know I can feel my vibration. I'm steady. I'm in such a good place that I can let it unfold and be okay with the
Mhm.
unfolding.
Right. Nicely said. Nicely said. Be okay with the unfolding. Let it unfold.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
and let it surprise and delight
Yes.
you.
Yeah. And it can
Yeah.
be fun to play little games of what if this happened? What if that happened? Wouldn't it be fun?
Wouldn't it be nice if,
Yes.
like Viola says, in the question part, you're in the
Yes.
question. That's just
Hmm.
part of the
Hmm.
question answer dance. You're in the
Yes.
question part.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love when clients release that resistance and in the session, it's like their vibration is going up and up as they release resistance, and then they're able to have that own guidance for themselves. Oh, I'm really okay. I don't need to do anything. A lot of times that's what they get to in feeling relief and tuning to those good emotions. And that's the thing again, your own guidance is the best guidance, and
Hmm.
getting someone to that space of their own clarity, it's golden.
Yeah.
So
And you're
good.
so good at that, Amanda.
Thank you.
You really are. And that's why I'm so excited that you are offering again, once again, to folks to sign up for a free session with you, which
Yes.
is really anyone listening to this. I highly recommend you take advantage of that. I have had many sessions with her.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and so clients or prospective clients or just anyone that's curious, go to my website, www.amandatowne.com, and that's town with an E, and sign up for a one-on-one, and you can use the code freedom to get that session. And it's just a way for you to experience the magic of a session, how it feels to release that resistance and get your own guidance. And I also incorporate this process of the inner child and the inner being, where the inner child, it's not digging into your past, it's that emotional side of you and getting in tune with those emotions and syncing up with your inner being. it's a beautiful, beautiful process,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun. We've
Mm-hmm.
both been through this. It's a lot of fun to do these sessions and receive them. A lot of times there's a lot of laughter involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And bliss at the end. It's just
Yes.
like
Yes.
elevating,
Yes.
going up the
Yes.
emotional scale.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a manifestation right there. That
Yes.
feeling, the feeling is the manifestation. I also referenced part of my journey has been this freedom from overthinking and free your mind. So I wrote a book called How to Tame Your Overthinking Mind. It's an ebook, and that's also available on my website. So you can click on the link and download that ebook. Gives you lots of good information. Freedom is a big overriding theme in my life.
And your work, it seems, and
Yes.
what you're passionate about. You're definitely living it and providing permission slips for lots of others just by your example.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is so good. And it has changed my life in the most delicious ways. And it keeps changing. I remember when I got into this work more heavily and was going through big shifts, and I wondered to myself, when am I going to be done with this shift? And then I thought, I'm going to reach a level and be done. Not that way at all,
Yeah.
because the better it gets, the better it gets. There's no limit to how good it can get.
Mm.
And talking also about how it's changed my life. There's been a lot of physical manifestations and trips and things coming my way, but it is in how I feel. And you're not boxed into a certain way of being. You get to evolve, and the more you do this work and release resistance, and your vibration goes up. So I like to think about it too, like your inner being is unconditional love, and as you release resistance, you're becoming more and more of that, embodying that. And I've really felt that. I feel so much
Mm.
freer and
Mm-hmm.
lighter. I I used to be a very serious person, and I can
No.
still be serious,
Well, I
but
believe you because I know that you were and still are an accountant, which
yes,
doesn't. Oh, see, I've got these preconceived notions that accountants are
yeah.
very serious. You're not a typical accountant. You're
Yes, people have always said that, but people that know me well, and like I said, even in myself, I can feel it. I'm so much more lighthearted and being
yeah.
free and open to be silly and just have fun for no reason. And I don't need to have a plan.
Yeah.
It just it makes life
Yeah.
freer,
Yeah.
funner, more
Yeah.
joyful, more fun. And
Yeah.
that's why I love the Abraham cruises too, because it's all about the fun. People have asked me, why do you keep going? Because they're fun.
Mm-hmm. Best
They're
answer.
fun. There, of
Yeah.
course, there's transformation happening, but it's
But the transformation is in the fun. Like
yes,
like
yes,
I used to be a very serious person too. I can be still at times because I'm a Capricorn. Our idea of fun sometimes is working.
yeah.
Sometimes if that's what's calling me, right, then I'm going to work because I'm having fun. And
When this
me,
work is fun.
yeah, when work is fun. Now it's like, okay, work needs to be fun. Otherwise,
Mhm.
I don't want to push through things anymore and just have it be hard and that because that energy is being infused into everything that I do.
Yes.
Yeah, so you want it to be easy and fun.
Mhm.
And so where I'm going at that is the productivity, for lack of a better word, is in the fun. Like the manifestation comes out of the fun.
Mhm.
The surprise and delight, the amazing miracles, the synchronicity comes out of the fun. I used to
Yes.
think, well, fun is a waste of time because I'm not using my time productively. I should be working, or I should be
Mhm.
finishing this project. Meanwhile, now, I mean, I've had this really big switch happen
Yes.
recently, like really get it, really
Yes.
get it.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
oh, fun is where the
Mhm.
all of the magic and the productivity, I'm using
Yeah.
that word because that's how my brain
Mhm.
then says, okay, then it's okay to go have fun because it is productive.
Yes. Yes. And I love that you said allowing, because that's such a big part. It's ask, given, and steps 3 and 4 of Abraham are allow. And I do this law of attraction discussion group a couple of times a month. And last night we had a discussion about allowing, because I think there's a lot of confusion sometimes about allowing. Well, what do I do? Well, you don't do anything. You allow, you let it go. You you turn your focus to something else, something that's fun, so that you can allow those things to come in.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was editing Dominic Scaffidy's podcast episode yesterday. And that was a lot of what we were talking about, was there's nothing to do. And that
Mhm.
seems to be the theme lately of everything I'm listening to.
Mhm.
There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. It's just like, okay, beat me over the head with that, but I'm
Yeah,
getting it. I'm getting
right.
it. There's nothing to do in order to get X, Y, or Z.
Yes.
There's not, or to, in order to experience or attract or
Yes.
allow something.
And yes. And
Yeah.
with someone that's still in that doing mindset, it seems counterintuitive. Just tell me what to do. How do I allow? Just relax, let
Yeah.
go, have fun.
And the thing Dominic kept saying, if you want to manifest something, how did
Mhm.
you attract what you have now?
Yeah.
How did you create that? You
Mhm.
are a creator. How
Yeah.
did you create that?
Yes. Yeah. And that goes back to the logic thing too. It's logic when you see, oh, I got my vibration high and then I forgot about it and then it just showed up. Like,
Well, I'm thinking of it like in the opposite, maybe something unwanted that you attracted. How
yes,
did you,
that's logical too.
you
Yeah.
were most likely focused on, either you were worried about it in some way, or
Mhm.
your vibration was at that level.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I kept focusing on that
Yes. Yes.
worry or that pain or that discomfort or that anger, whatever.
Yes. And most people don't even realize they're doing it, because for most people it's a lifetime habit and they think it's normal. So until they start really looking at that and sometimes have someone point out to them, they don't realize it. And then the more you do this work, it's not really work, but for lack of a better term, and as your vibration goes higher, you become so much more sensitive to it. And those thoughts that don't feel good, you feel those emotions more. And that's a good thing. That sensitivity
Hmm.
is a good thing.
Yeah, as opposed to running around not really present or
Right.
self-aware of what you're feeling,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
On automatic. Get the kids up, take them to the babysitter, sit in an hour of traffic, 8 hours
Yeah.
at the corporate job, not really making time, right?
Mhm.
To go and quiet yourself down. So, single moms, if you're listening, you can take 5 minutes and go into the restroom and just sit quietly and breathe. Take 3 deep
Yes.
breaths. That
Yeah.
connects you. 3 deep breaths
Mhm.
will connect you. No matter how busy you are, this is what I would tell my 30-year-old self right
Mhm.
now. Like, you can have that time. Like, it is so good for you.
Yes, yes. And freedom too. So the single moms may think, "Oh, I don't have freedom. I have these kids that I have to take care of on my own." But even seeing those little things, Like you have freedom to take a breath. You have freedom
Mm-hmm.
to take 5 minutes for yourself. So finding those little things, and those little things add up to big things. And, you keep the momentum going, and then once you get it going, it will take off on itself.
Yeah. And I think of Sheila Williams, my interview with her. She was a single mom too at that time, but she was in a job or jobs that she didn't necessarily love, but she would take those moments like, oh, she's outside, and she would look around at the beauty, whatever she could find, a tree, a mountain, whatever. So just appreciate, like, just, oh, I'm appreciating this fresh air, just finding those moments where you can appreciate something. And then like each job she got was an improvement, was a better job, more money. And until now, she's really living the dream, as
Talk
they
about
say.
someone that has freedom. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Someone that's traveling the world and
Yeah.
different places all the time.
Right. Digital nomad kind of life,
Yes.
but running her business that way. So I remember those days of being in jobs that I hated, really. I really felt like I had no freedom. I felt like I was trapped. That's why I'm an entrepreneur. So you can, with your thoughts and your feelings, eventually just keep upgrading your life, getting a little bit more freedom here, a little bit more freedom there. Just you get to create. Or you could have a big giant quantum leap.
Quantum leaps. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
And they do happen. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like the last couple of years I keep quantum leaping here and then here and then here.
Isn't that funny? I feel like that's happening to me, but then I go, oh, but it's happening to all of us. We're all feeling it. There's something going on here.
Yeah, I totally agree. It
Yeah.
feels like the energy is allowing us to move faster and faster. So if you're on that trajectory, and I feel like too, with so many people being more aware, it's building that momentum for everyone. We chose this life. We chose to be here, and we are the creator. We get to make it fun.
Well, thank you so much, Amanda. It's wonderful, as always, to have you on the show. Just really enjoyed the conversation.
Thanks, Rhonda.
I hope you enjoyed this episode with Amanda Towne. To connect with Amanda, go to Amanda Towne. Towne is spelt with an E at the end.com. Don't forget to take advantage of her 2 gifts. One is a free coaching session. Simply go to her website, click on Book Now, and use the coupon code FREEDOM to set that up. Amanda also wanted me to tell you about her free ebook, How to Tame Your Overthinking Mind, also found on her website. All these links are in the show notes as well. If you enjoy this podcast and would like to support the show, here are a few ways you can do that. 1. Tell your friends about the show. 2. Share about the show or a specific episode on social media. 3. Sponsor an episode. Contact me for more information. 4. Leave a review on Apple right on your phone. Or 5. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. And 6. Make a donation. Link is in the show notes. And of course, continue to listen and let me know how the show is making a difference in your life. Till next time, have a delicious day and life.